I think the most interesting part of the Young India Fellowship program is the almost once in a life opportunity for a youngster to put all their learning into perspective and to fill the most crucial gaps from their point of view, which have been missed in education, which can not just complete their understanding of things around them, but most importantly, I think, get them to get very sharply focused on what they want to do, what they are good at, what their aspiration should be, and perhaps chart out for themselves a reasonably clear near-term path to get onto a journey where they really can make a very big difference to themselves and of course to everybody around them. I think the biggest flaw in the way the education systems have evolved for the last many decades, maybe a couple of centuries, is that they're making people very, very unidimensional. And the drive for specialization is coming at a huge cost of having a tunnel vision. That's the biggest gap. What the fellowship attempts to do is to open all the blinkers that have been created in one's education and show a number of new avenues that a person may want to pursue. So in that sense, it would perhaps create a completely new kind of model and may force us to think of doing such a thing at a much earlier stage in life, rather than getting people to go into a narrow and narrow tunnel, so that by they start getting ready for work, they know very little about life. One of the very important instruments, if I can use the term in the fellowship, is the work that will happen in the space of mentoring. So each of the students will have a mentor, and the attempt is to find people who are very keen to do this work, but who have the experience and worldly experience to help a young bright person see a richer perspective about life. So now this whole mentoring thing has been done in many different ways, and I personally have been addressing this issue for the last couple of years in the MBA program that we've created at the NIIT University, where we have one CEO as a mentor for each MBA this year. And so two things. One is, I've been pleasantly surprised by the interest of some outstanding CEOs to give this time. We told them we need only so many hours once in so many months, and they've come forward to say they're willing to give more. But more than that, the other thing which I'm finding very interesting is that as youngsters, students coming out of an education system, we absorb a lot of things, but we close too many windows as we move forward, number one. Number two, we don't create connections. We don't have an opportunity to create connections even if you have to start a study in a certain direction or start a pursuit in a certain direction. And also, I think if, as a young student, if I had an interest in a certain area, I would have wanted someone to stimulate it in me at the right time and then show me the first step, which could be, okay, go and meet so-and-so, I'll set up a meeting for you. Or by the way, this so-and-so event is going to happen, where I know that so-and-so, this individual is going to be there, go and meet him. Or something as simple as saying, there's a very good book, I would suggest you read. So I think these occasional, what we think are occasional tips, which can be very, very impactful in changing the course of one's pursuit in life. I think mentoring at its best creates a number of such opportunities. And then again, you don't need 100 ideas. A good mentor perhaps shows you the right way in one or two directions. So mentorship done with a lot of interest, with a lot of passion, with a lot of engagement by a sensitive senior executive is perhaps the most important input in terms of the return on time investment that we can give in education, and I know that that's very central in this fellowship. So I think this is going to make a very big qualitative difference to each and every one of the students. I recently had a youngster who came from the ISB. They're doing a program called Shadow a CEO, and this youngster came and spent from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. with me. I made a day's program which had a good mix of what I do in a day, But more than anything else, I think I told everyone that I met during the day that this is a student who's come from this place, so can he ask some questions? So I think the day's dialogues, discussions, and then the reflection we did, and I've got a very nice couple of mails from the youngster on how he's thought of some of those ideas. I was very happy that this was being thought of, and of course, when Pramath made a request, I said I'd be more than delighted to spend some time mentoring one of the students, one of the fellows in our program.